what the thing is. This is Dreams, episode 7. Keep getting kicked off. And we got Errol Cooney coming in. I'm going to add him in real quick.
I think we got it.
There it is.
There it is.
Right on, man.
Right on. How you doing?
I knew we figured it out. How you been, Errol? It's been a minute.
Yeah, I've been good, man. I can't complain. How you been?
I'm doing swell other than not getting to play music. You know, it's a new thing.
Yeah, I feel kind of the same way.
But yeah, man, we'll jump right into it. Thanks for doing Dreams. This is something that me and a buddy of mine were just talking about in his driveway last year. And then when this whole Corona thing happened, it was just like, well, time to hit up some folks that I know play music and let them tell their story of pretty much how they got into music, like the first memories that kept them kind of pursuing music, influential moments in music. So yeah, we'll start it off. This is Dreams. This is episode 7. We got Errol Cooney on with us. And Errol, if you want to introduce yourself, tell folks what you play, what you do.
Sure, yeah. My name is Errol Cooney. I'm a guitar player. Played for a lot of different people. Been touring for about 20 years, recording and whatever else anybody will hire me for.
Mowing lawns.
Mowing lawns. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of work around the house lately.
I hear that.
Doing some refinishing.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's been like crazy. I'm going tomorrow to cut down some trees on my property. So it's just,
there you go.
You know, things that need to get done. It's just about that time to do them.
Yeah, why not? You got time.
Well, now that you've introduced yourself, go ahead and tell us, I guess, a little background. What got you into music? Was guitar your first instrument? Do you remember hearing a song and saying, oh, I want to do that for life?
Well, I started, guitar was my first instrument. I mean, my family all sang and played music. Both my brothers play guitar, my older brothers. And my mom played piano, and both my parents sing. And so I was around it all my life, but I always kind of looked up to my brothers playing guitar. So that's how I started. You know, I was into classic rock, Pink Floyd, and Led Zeppelin, and so that was the first stuff I was playing. Rush. That was stuff I heard them playing. Playing, you know, all of the bands when they were in high school, and I was in grade school back in New York. So that's how it started, pretty much.
So y'all all picked up guitar then?
Yep.
You just had a guitar band.
Yeah, I know. Well, we've had a couple of brief bands together. We were always talking about having the Cooney brothers go out on the road.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
What do you think it would sound like if y'all all got together? What kind of groove would y'all put in?
I don't know. I mean, you know, we always sang lots of Beatles and James Taylor and Pink Floyd and stuff like that as kids. So, and I mean, we did some Donny Hathaway stuff too. I don't know what it would be. We've always just sang covers together. We never did any original music, but I don't know.
I met you doing soul music. So how did you get into that jump?
I got into in high school after, you know, I really started playing around 11, 12 years old. And in high school, I started getting into jazz and funk and soul music, and gospel music came after that, and kind of everything in between. You know, I just kind of went through phases. And when I was in my early 20s, living in the Bay Area, I started playing around in clubs, and then doing weddings and casuals and stuff like that, and met some people. Doing, you know, touring with the bands with my buddy Eric Smith. That was actually probably my biggest influence, you know, getting into the music business. He got me on my first tour with Sunshine Anderson. It's like, you know, neo soul music about 20 years ago. So that was kind of how that flowed.
Was that City High? Was she in City High? Was that Sunshine Anderson?
Not that I remember. She had a song called "Heard It All Before." She was on.
Oh, that's right.
She had a label called Soul Live, defunct now, but Anthony Hamilton was there when she was there before he started doing his thing. So I met him. That was when I first met him. And then after that, I started playing with, people also from the Bay Area, Guapale and
Yeah.
Lettucey. All this is all around the same time. And we started a band with Eric Smith and his brother Jubu called Legally Blind. We've been playing together now for almost 20 years, which is crazy. And
Man.
that was kind of the beginning of my professional career.
Jubu's one of those names that got thrown around a lot when I was out there on the road. People would talk about Jubu.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
he's a myth and a legend.
he's a
But yeah,
Well, what
he's
was-
the best, man. He's my favorite guitar player, and we've been in a band together for, like I said, 20 years.
Wow. What took you, I guess, from, you said you grew up in New York and then you were out in San Francisco and then you made the road a thing when you were out in San Francisco, right?
Yeah, that's right. I'm originally from Houston, in Texas.
Okay.
And my dad is an actor by trade.
Right on.
So around the time I was, I think, 2 or 3, he and my mom got on a tour, a theatrical tour called Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. So that moved us all over the country. Then we moved to New York. My dad started working a lot in commercials and theater in New York. Lived there for 8 years. Then did another tour when I was in 8th grade for a year. By this time, my brothers were off at college. And that landed us in LA, and he had started getting into movies. So that's where I went to high school.
Wow.
After LA, I moved to the Bay Area and started doing my own thing.
And you're back in LA these days, yeah?
Yep, I'm here right now.
Right on. What were you doing before Corona? Were you on the road?
I was on the road with a guy named Philip Phillips. He won American Idol in 2012. We did an acoustic tour that ended in the middle of February. Then last gig I did was with my band, with Legally Blind. That was in Dallas. And then I did a wedding with the Brandon Brown Collective. There was one other gig. And that was my last live thing I did. That was about a month ago.
Wow. The last time you and I ran into each other, it was 2017. We were in New Orleans working with Dave Chappelle.
Oh,
and he told me he was getting Stevie Wonder's band. And I was like, well, what is that? Who does that consist of? And then, of course, it was you and a couple other cats that I'd seen around. So, yeah, that was a while ago. That was during NBA All-Star weekend, him and Chris Tucker.
That's right. Yeah, that was a long weekend.
Okay.
Long weekend. I remember most of it.
Those juke joints are fun, man. You're not supposed to remember all of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that one, we started at maybe 1 in the morning or midnight.
Yeah.
And then I went straight from there to the airport at 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At 4 o'clock, the last buses were leaving, and he wanted to, keep it going. So
Yeah.
that's a fun time doing those.
That's a fun time. All night.
Yeah, that's for sure. So what's next on your radar once you get out of this? Are you looking at the business differently now? Are you doing a lot of file sending and recording with buddies now that you got this downtime?
I've done, some of that. After this, I'm supposed to go on a tour with Janet Jackson. The first date is supposed to be June 23rd, something like that, but I'm imagining that's not going to happen,
All right.
I haven't gotten official word yet, but hopefully maybe the second half of that tour can happen, and they'll be able to figure out the dates. I don't know. I mean, I've heard all sorts of stuff about stuff maybe starting this year or not starting until next year. I think no one really knows, honestly.
Sure. Yeah, we're still in that gray area.
But otherwise, yeah, I mean, I've done some stuff. I did one of these kind of online uploaded things with Stevie just the other day for Malcolm X's birthday. That was really cool. I've done a couple others, one with my band, with Legally Blind, and yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of making us all look at it differently. It's going to be interesting, and I don't think anybody knows for sure, but I've definitely thought about doing more online stuff, maybe lessons, maybe trying to reach out to people and do all the production and songwriting that I always have said I need to do more of. 'cause
That's kind of where I'm at with you. It's like, well, now it's It's just getting better internet and connecting with everybody and start producing stuff this way. You know, if we
Yep. Better internet. You said it all right there.
yeah, better internet. Yeah, we've seen a lot of things go down in this this Instagram live world. But yeah, man, thanks for joining us. I'm gonna wrap this up. We keep it simple, keep it short. But if you you know, were your 13-year-old self, or if you were getting into music and you had someone to talk to like an Errol Cooney, what would you say to that kid if you got the chance to say, hey man, you're going to be doing this someday, and you know, just keep at it, keep following your dreams. What are some thoughts you would give them?
Well, I mean, you said the biggest one right there is keeping at it and not getting discouraged. You know, be ready for anything. Be ready for anything anybody throws at you. Don't let negative feedback discourage you. Make it help you. You know what I mean? Like take it on the head and just do better the next time. I mean, there's so many mistakes I made, but I probably, you know, I can't think of any that I would really change, because that's how you get better. You always have to try and get better for the rest of your life at music. So just keep at it, man. That's basically it.
For sure. That's some good stuff, Errol. Thanks for joining us, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, man.
It's been Dreams with Errol Cooney, the one and only.
Thanks.
We'll talk to you soon, man. Thanks, Errol.
Easy, Joe.
Hi, buddy.